Hello, good morning. It is Thursday, January 27th, 2022. Oh my gosh. I feel this immense relief right now because I just finally got a response to my interview. But here, I just need to hash it all out. I just need to get it all out in the open because I've been so stressed about this lately. But basically, I'm in Drexel University's Doctor of Physical Therapy Accelerated track, which just means that during my undergrad years, which supposedly is 4 years, I just take 3 years and then I speed my way through, and then I don't get automatic admission into their physical therapy program for grad school. I need to be interviewed for it, right? So the thing is, they're supposed to, once I apply to the actual PTCAS thing, which is kind of like Common App, where you apply through this generalized system and then you add all the programs that you want, and then Drexel was one of my PT programs I wanted to do. After I submit my application, I also have to submit my transcripts, and I did that late. That was my issue. That was my problem, right? My bad. And I should have read more carefully. But then I was like, oh shoot, I'm so sorry, because they reminded me. Thank goodness. Thank you, God. And then I was like, oh, freaking out. And I put in my transcripts, and the transcripts have to be sent. You have to go to a certain site. And I used National Student Clearinghouse or something, or you can use Parchment or whatever. It's an online transcript system where you request that your college, Drexel, sends a copy of your transcript to your admission. So for me, that's PTCAS, physical therapy, PTCAS, something association, whatever. And so I'm just kind of here, and they have to do their own thing, right? They have to transfer here from here, and I don't know what's going on, right? I'm just can you do this? Thank you very much. Here's my money. And then you just kind of have to wait. And so I was waiting, and it was December 18th, and then I got an email that was saying yay, okay, we sent it. So now it's here. It's sent. And I was great. And I thought that was it, but I realized that that's not it, because I checked my status, my PTCAS status, and it says that 0 out of 2 of my transcripts had arrived, and I was okay. Then I waited another day, and then 1 of them arrived, and I was okay, good. So then on my status, it was 1 out of 2 of your transcripts have arrived, because I had taken some courses during the summer quarter of my freshman year at my community college when I was in quarantine. So I had 2 colleges that I wanted to send to my transcripts to PTCAS. So 1 of them did, not Drexel's. And so I was okay, maybe I'll just wait, I have to give them 10 business days. But it was during Christmas break and then New Year's break. So I was what counts? I don't know what vacations they give their workers, what if they give them the whole week off? Then technically that whole Christmas week is not a work week. So I was how long do I wait? And I was whatever, I just wanted to wait and give them some time, be nice, whatever. And so I waited and waited and waited, and nothing happened. And then finally it was January 2022, and I was bro, it's the next year. Is it still not going? And so I had to call them. And here's the thing. Drexel's PT program usually finishes their interviews by the end of the year. So throughout the entire December month, I probably had 10 different people, 5 students. I had professors. I had the professor who wrote me my recommendation letter for this program, my parents, everyone just so Are you in yet? Are you in yet? Have you gotten the interview? Yeah, wait, oh my gosh, guess what? I got my interview, yay, guess what? I'm in the program, yay, how about you, trying to balance, like, being, like, happy for my friends, like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that they got it, like, and then also balancing, like, the expectations of, like, the older, you know, adults that are, like, backing me up through this education, paying for whatever, like, you know, my parents and, like, professors who are, like, have academic stakes and reputations and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, I'm getting there, I'm doing it, okay? And so that's what I was going through, like, mentally, and I was, like, so stressed out, like, in the back of my mind during my entire break. It's, like, subtle. Like, I was still able to enjoy it. We went to Vegas, that was fun. You know, I watched movies with my sisters, we ate good food. It was a great break. It was just always in the back of your mind, you're like, not quite settled there yet. And I don't know, I really needed to, like, bring it all to God, and I was like, God, what are you doing? Like, why is it taking so long? Because, like, yeah, like, God, you told me that you'd bring me through this whole situation. You brought me here to Drexel, and, like, I have faith that you will, you know, help me pay through this really expensive out-of-state private tuition thing that is really not that in our, like, family's budget and everything. It's just, I don't know, I felt like this peace come on me when I was deciding which college to go to. And I really just kind of, like, gave my college education to God and just, like, okay, it's yours, take it, okay? And so I felt like I was doing that all over again during that, like, December moment, like, time when I was just like, when are the transcripts coming in? Like, I can't do anything. They can't offer me an interview until my transcripts have gone in. And so I was like, oh God, what is going on? And I was struggling so much in my heart. I was, like, struggling so much. I was like, God, oh my gosh, I'm so stressed. And I was like, but okay, I give it to you. I already gave it to you. I give it to you again. And I was just caught up in this cycle of, like, constantly trying to, like, give it away, give it back to God, but, like, also, like, managing my own, like, uncertainty and stress. And then finally, I just got to a point where, like, okay, God, you know what? I'm really, this is for you. Like, if I don't become a PT, if I am homeless one day, whatever it is, my life is still in your hands. And I can handle all the disappointments and all the discouragingness and from everyone around me, as long as I know that my life was not for myself, but for you. That's such a hard principle. But, like, I was, like, finally kind of accepting that kind of thing in my heart, and I was like, oh, okay, fine. And then that was the day that I had called PTCAS. It was, like, January something already. And I had called PTCAS, and I told them, like, hey, why isn't my transit going through? And then they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. And one of the representatives was so nice. He was so great to me. And he was, like, investigating. He was, like, putting me on hold twice so he could bother his boss and his coworkers about, like, what's happening with my transcript. And he asked for, like, my transcript ID number and everything. And I was like, oh, that's so nice. And finally, he was like, okay, I think I figured out the problem. The issue was, going back to this thing, Drexel sent it over here, but it just sent to, like, the PTCAS, like, system, but a person has to receive this for it to, like, for them to manually, you know, enter whatever or change my status. So apparently PTCAS received it, but a person didn't get it. So that representative had to, like, be like, oh, okay, I went and found it, and I'm like, I'm not sure why no one saw this, but I'll get it back to you soon. And then it was when they emailed me and they're like, okay, your transcripts are in. That was the day, the day that I received that email was the day that I was like, okay, God, this is yours. This is yours. And I was like, oh my gosh, wow, thank you. And then there's, like, a few more hiccups because the status didn't sync up, so I called them again, and then they fixed it in a day. But I was like, wow, okay, thank goodness. And then I had come back here. I was home back then. So now, then I flew back to Philadelphia, and then I was like waiting for an interview. And then I was like text or emailing like the people who are like telling me like what things are missing from my application. Like, oh, okay, transcripts are in. Okay, I'm ready for my interview. And then there was one more thing that I forgot to do, which, oh my gosh, I can't believe. But basically, it's all in the details, okay? So I took my GRE, which is like the college version of a SAT, and I already got my score. I took it last May, and then once I got my score, I submitted my GRE score to Drexel University. So I thought I did it already, right? I submitted my GRE report score to Drexel University. Makes sense. But turns out I had to do it to Drexel University's PTCAS physical therapy like department or something. So it's like, oh shoot. And then so I had to resend it. So yeah, like, oh my gosh, it's all in the details. And this is like, I'm so inexperienced. Oh my gosh. Oh, seriously, like God's grace is the only thing getting me through this. I'm like such a noob. And then I finally did that. And then on Monday, they sent me an email giving me like an interview offer. And I was like, oh my gosh, finally, right? Oh my gosh, it's been like 2 months and I've been like sweating every hour, every moment, every day I'm sweating now, man. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank goodness. And then I was like quickly emailing them, right? I was like, oh yes, I would love to have the interview offer. Thank you so send. And then I waited. One day, it was Tuesday, and I was like, it's been a day. They're usually really fast about these things. I was like, do I need a call or something? And I was like, okay, I'll wait one more day. And then I was on the bus yesterday. Yesterday was Wednesday. And I was on the shuttle, and I was like, literally, this is so weird, but I was trying to like kind of close my eyes and get a little nap because the ride is like 10 minutes long. It's like, and then all of a sudden I was like, I need to check that email that I sent to them, because what if it didn't actually get to them? So I was like, okay. And I checked my phone and I scrolled, and it turns out that I shouldn't have clicked reply to that email. I should have emailed it to the specific email address that they had sent in the email. So they use like a different email address to send me the offer, right? And I was supposed to reply through an email address they had provided in the email. And I was like, oh shoot. So then I quickly typed out another email and then sent it to that email address and sent. And I was like, oh, thank goodness. I went through class. A few hours later, like 4 hours later, I was back from class. I checked my email, but my email hadn't sent through, because I don't know why, but my phone didn't send it through, so I had to send it through my laptop. And I was like, oh, now I'm wasting another 4 hours. And then I realized something, is even though I typed in the specific address that they gave me to send my reply to, that address automatically reconfigurates itself to the original address that they had sent the offer to me, the one that I had initially thought I needed to send my reply to. So I was like, what's going on? I like manually typed in the right address, and then it switches on me and becomes the original one where they sent it to me. And I was like so confused, and I tried it. This is all through my school email, right? So I was like, okay, this is so not working. And I was like, okay, let me try my regular email. So I went out of my drexel.edu email, I went to my Gmail, and then I copy-pasted my reply, and I sent it to the actual address. I was like typing every single letter, making sure it doesn't reconfigure itself again, and then it worked. And I was like, okay. But then, by then, it was like Wednesday, and I had to reply by Wednesday, which is yesterday, and I was like freaking out, because I technically already responded literally the day of that they sent me the offer. And I was like, okay. So then I tried calling them, and I was like, hi, so my name is Jemine, and I just want to let you know that there's like some like error-ish that's happening with like your email, where it like reconfigured itself to like this old address that you did not want people to email to. And I was like, yeah, I just want to let you know I accepted the offer and thank you so much. And I was like, okay, the end. I was like, that there's nothing else I could do. So like last night, oh my gosh, I was so stressed. I mean, I'm still kind of stressed. I'm like still riding the wave of stress. But this morning, I just kind of like, once again, spend some extra time with the Lord and try to like have his peace come and wash over me. And I was just like reflecting on all this that's happened. And I was like, wow, like, why are you so good to me, God? Like, there's so much steps that I missed. There's so many mistakes that I made that a regular person in under regular circumstances, like, this is not okay. And I've also been like struggling on that because usually I'm like pretty on top of things, but now I really have to take a posture of humility and be like, no, like I totally messed up. Like this is my fault, other people's fault, but also it's just like this is my, you know, my application and everything. So I really need to take responsibility and like stay humble and like taking the offers that they offer me at their face value and like doing what I can to accommodate. And I was just like, wow, there's so many hiccups that happen. And like, if I get into this program, God, it's all going to be you. It's all going to be you because there's so many things that went wrong so far that I can't imagine it going well without the grace of God, without him working through the people who are giving me the offer, without him working through the professor that's been constantly in touch with me, without him working through that person at PTCAS who was helping me find my transcripts and everything. It was just like, wow, like every step of the way, every time I had a bump, every time I went back to God, it was just like, okay. And he finally like helped me get through it. Yeah, I just, like, one big thing that made me realize how, like, special these circumstances is the professor I was talking to that was helping me go through this whole process. He was saying, like, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen to you, Jemine, because this has never happened before. Like, no student has ever not had their interview by the end of the year. Like, this is a first. And I was like, okay, that's great. Yay me. I was like, okay. And we're just kind of like at this like stalemate where like, we don't know what else to do. So I was just like, great. I'll just do what I need to do and hope that they send me an offer. So when they sent me the offer this Monday, I was like, hallelujah, hallelujah. And so that's why I was so stressed with like my email not going through, because I was like, I need to jump on this opportunity. And I just received the email response back to me. And they said that they'll put me in touch with the administrative coordinator. And this is through my Gmail, so thank goodness I thought to send a reply through my Gmail. But yeah, that has been my journey from applying to PTCAS and getting an interview to Drexel's physical therapy program. It's all God. It's all God. It's all God. Because I keep screwing up and he's still making it work for some reason. So I guess he really wants me to be a PT. So yay! I will do my best. I will do my best to use that for his glory. Well, it's a long story, but I will reply to that email now and get to work. Alrighty. Thank you for listening. I don't know if I'll even post this, but I will